It was a typical night at the Frost residence, or so it seemed. Kirk and Rasheeda, known for their entrepreneurial spirit, had been juggling their careers with family life, all while trying to maintain their marriage. However, beneath the surface, tensions were simmering. Rumors had been swirling about Kirk's loyalty and Rasheeda's growing frustrations. As the couple navigated the turbulent and glamorous world of reality television, few couples have captured the audience's attention quite like Kirk and Rasheeda Frost. Their journey on Love and Hip Hop has been filled with drama, love, betrayal, and ambition. However, recent events have sent shockwaves through their fanbase, turning their once envied relationship into a headline-grabbing scandal. The scene would have made for compelling television, but sadly, this was real life. As the evening wore on, the atmosphere became more and more charged. What began as a disagreement over routine household matters quickly turned into a heated argument, with voices raised and hurtful words exchanged. The neighbors, alarmed by the commotion, dialed 911 to report a domestic disturbance. When the police arrived at the Frost home, they were met with a tense situation. Following a brief assessment of the situation and interviews with both sides, the police decided to arrest Kirk, as Rasheeda seemed extremely disturbed and had red, swollen eyes from crying. When the news surfaced, followers who had watched the couple through their ups and downs on social media exploded in shock, disbelief, and fear. Rasheeda stoked the flames with an impassioned Instagram post. "I never imagined having to deal with this. I should be respected and kept protected." And as the tale developed, it was evident that this was more than simply a fit of rage. Rather, it was the result of underlying problems that had dogged their relationship for years. The post included a picture of her that showed her to be both powerful and vulnerable. A powder keg of emotions waiting for the right spark. In the days following, the fallout was intense. Celebrity insiders conjectured about the toll that reality television fame can take on personal lives. The pressure to maintain a perfect image while dealing with personal demons can create a powder keg of emotions. Despite their differences, several gathered to support Rasheeda and urged her to put her safety first, while some fans expressed loyalty to Kirk, pleading for empathy and understanding. "We've witnessed them go through so much." One fan bemoaned, the tension evident in both online and offline spaces. In her quest for understanding and healing, Rasheeda sought advice from close friends and family, reflecting on the years of her marriage and weighing the pros and cons of each romantic getaway they had shared, each of which seemed to have a corresponding moment of betrayal or disappointment. The dichotomy of their lives played out in front of the cameras, but the truth was far more complex. Meanwhile, Kirk had to deal with the legal repercussions of his actions, scheduled to appear in court shortly. As he prepared for his court appearance, Kirk expressed sorrow and perplexity, saying, "I love Rasheeda, and I want to make things right, but the road to reconciliation was anything but clear."
Kirk, in order to move forward. Nobody is perfect and relationships have issues, but y'all also gotta understand forgiveness too. And that's what I have learned to understand, because we've had to forgive each other for I ain't always been perfect in my marriage. We've had dishonesty from both sides of us in this marriage. We've had infidelities from both sides of us in this marriage.
As the day of the court hearing drew near, speculation grew. Would Kirk take responsibility for his actions? Would Rasheeda stand by him, or would she choose to move on? The drama was reminiscent of the most suspenseful episodes of Love and Hip Hop, but the stakes were higher. Rasheeda was determined to put her own and her children's well-being first. Friends close to her said she was weighing her options and considering what a future without Kirk might look like. As supporters anticipated the result, their narrative served as a cautionary tale about love, fidelity, and the complexity of human relationships. The saga of Kirk and Rasheeda took on a life of its own, serving as a stark reminder that real lives are at stake beneath the glitz and glamour of reality television. Though the future was still unknown, one thing was certain: Frost's journey was far from over. As he prepared to reveal a shocking truth that had sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, Kirk Frost leaned against the polished countertop of his upscale studio. The weight of his revelation hung heavy in the air, and his expression alternated between disbelief and simmering anger. Rasheeda, his former partner and ex-wife, had allegedly stolen $9 million from their joint ventures. "This isn't just a rumor, this is a reality I've been grappling with for too long," Kirk started, speaking slowly and with a hint of emotion. "I trusted her, so seeing that she has been embezzling money from us feels like betrayal on many fronts." The studio, which was previously a center for creativity and cooperation, now felt like a battlefield. With a mixture of regret and nostalgia, Kirk reminisced about their early days together. Together, they built an empire in the music industry, turning their aspirations into a successful brand that expanded into fashion and lifestyle, or at least, that's what Kirk thought. As the company expanded, so did the challenges. Kirk shook his head as memories streamed back, saying, "I thought it was just mismanagement or accounting errors." However, when he saw small but progressively serious discrepancies in their finances, he started to dig deeper. It was like watching a house of cards fall apart in front of my eyes when he discovered records of transfers that made no sense. He decided to hire a forensic accountant to investigate further. The report was devastating, detailing unauthorized withdrawals and hidden transactions that painted a troubling picture of betrayal. Seeing those numbers was devastating, he continued, barely above a whisper. It's one thing to disagree over business decisions, but this was outright theft. As the findings unfolded, Kirk's heart raced, each passing day heightening his sense of dread. I was unwell, Kirk recalled the moment the accountant gave him the report. The numbers glowed in front of his eyes, symbols of broken dreams and misplaced trust. Fans and followers reacted with shock and disbelief as social media erupted, with Kirk Rasheeda trending as the public devoured every detail of the couple's tumultuous history. I had poured my heart and soul into our brand, and to find out that the person I trusted most was stealing from me, it was a nightmare I couldn't wake up from, Kirk said. Rasheeda said very little, which only fueled more speculation. As he sat in the studio, surrounded by mementos of their former shared ambitions, Kirk vented his fury. I want answers. I deserve to know why she did this, and how she thought she could get away with it. We built this together. It's not just about the money. Determined to recover what was lost, Kirk began exploring his legal options. He felt he had to act, because the loss wasn't just financial, it was also about integrity and respect. I created this empire with my blood, sweat, and tears, and I won't let it be taken away. As he sought legal advice and planned his next move, their corporate and personal lives were sure to be rocked by the fallout from this revelation, with potential legal ramifications looming. What effect would this have on their reputation and the supporters who had helped build their empire? Kirk's revelation set the stage for a dramatic story that captivated audiences. Under the glitz and glamour of their public personas lay a complex web of emotions: hurt, betrayal, and the lingering question of how love could turn into such animosity. Through his revelation, Kirk declared a renewed sense of purpose. I owe it to myself and to our legacy to see this through, steeling himself for the battle ahead. He added that his determination had hardened and that he wouldn't back down in the face of criticism. Friends and supporters reassured him that he wasn't fighting this battle alone and that it ultimately came down to accountability. Kirk paced the poorly lit living room, his every step accompanied by the growing wave of resentment and treachery that washed over him. Rasheeda's confession weighed heavily on him. His voice barely above a whisper, he muttered, "You really did it." His words were heavy and oppressive. "You cheated on me." With a look of defiance on her face, Rasheeda stood with her arms crossed. "Kirk, you believe you're the only one who can enjoy yourself occasionally? I didn't come here to play the blame game." He felt his heart sink in amazement and wrath. "Who else was it that I knew? Did you really? I suppose I should simply back off and let things go. You don't get to question me. You had your share of late nights and whispered talks. Do you really think I'd just turn a blind eye?" She drew closer, a vicious gleam in her eyes. "I thought we were creating something real, but you made me look like a fool." "Well, welcome to the club," Kirk snarled. Her breath accelerated. "It's not about getting even, it's about standing up for myself." Her voice trembled, the bravado faltering just enough for him to glimpse the hurt beneath the anger. "I'm tired of being the one who has to put up with this." He ran a hand through his hair, feeling the weight of betrayal crush him. "So that's your excuse? You thought you'd just cheat back, that's how you survive?" "I wanted to think you could change, so I took the step forward," her voice steadying as she battled to remain controlled. "But you just trampled on me. Why didn't you just tell me?" he demanded. "Why didn't you confront me about what I did?" Her fiery eyes dimmed, the fight within her fading. "I never wanted that. I thought we were in this together. I couldn't just sit there and wait for you to decide to be honest. You made me feel worthless. I thought I was protecting us," he admitted softly, his voice breaking as the realization hit him. "But I was wrong." "So now what?" Rasheeda whispered. "What do you want from us now?"
Well, I think with Kirk and I is more, I hate to even say this because people just talk so much, but it's the communication and really like understanding each other, because over time, just because you're married to somebody doesn't mean you really know them like you should or understand them like you should. And throughout years, I guess for us, because we've been together for such a long time, you know, you evolve and change in life as you get older.
Yeah. Scrappy, you're very close with Rasheeda. You know, you've said often, like, that's like my sister. How do you feel about the situation? Because I feel like you have to be stuck in the middle at some point.
It blows my mind.